Hi and welcome and happy March. Today is March 1st. So another month is ahead of us and the spring is coming closer. But in Sweden it's not there yet, but I feel like the winter has been broken. Now we will have the winter and spring dance. We have some days with winter, some days with more spring. Then we have some days when we will have all the weathers the same day. Slowly the spring will win. Today the winter came back. We have snow again. And it means this will be the icy season again. It will be like melting during the day and be ice during the night. But it's nice to have the winter, the harsh winter have been broken. It was very cold here. We had like weeks with below 10 Celsius and at day and night at like 19 below zero. It was cold. But it was nice to have a good winter. First, that is a good winter when it's cold here. But it was only for a few weeks or like 2 months, January, February. So it was like an okay length, I prefer this than we had in December. December was wet. It was raining and it was wet. I prefer cold and snow instead. Because it's still a shorter time than the rest of the season. Yeah, so today is March 1st. So I'm here with Project Polish update number 2 for 2026. Yeah, I think many of us think that time goes so fast now, like it's already update number 2. And I was like not realizing that it was time for almost an update again. I think it was like last Monday. I was like, oh, this is the last week of February. Like I have to make more manis. Like I don't have enough for an update. I think then I had only 2 manis with Project Polishes. Because when I was filming the update number 1, I was wearing the first mani for February. So then that Project Polish mani was counted in the first update. I was like, oh, I have only done 2 Project Polish manis. Like I really have to step it up, and I did, so that's good. But sometimes I feel like the first week of the month it goes so very slowly, and then like between the 15 and the last days it's like so fast. So, okay, I have to do a manis. Yeah, so I have 4 manis for this update. I have used 5 Project Polishes or 6 Project Polishes because I did a pedicure. But 5 Project Polish in 4 manis. This year I did start with 12 polishes and I'm trying to use my Project Polishes like 90%. I think this is, this project was created by Pretty Pistol 86. I'm happy that she did start this one because I really enjoyed it. I have done this now for, this is my 11th year, so thank you to her. She doesn't do videos anymore for a while now. Maybe she come back someday, who knows. She did, I think, she had polishes that maybe she also did a rolling style that she may be working on like 3-4 polishes. And if she used something up, she added one in, but she only used the Project Polish polishes, I think, the whole year. I think many do it that way. And I think I tried that a few times, but I feel like, sometimes you need to have something else or other things for different years. Since I know, I did it for 10 years, it's good to have different styles, try different things. Now, this year, I really want to use up polishes. It'll be a challenge again to use my Project Polishes like 90%, because I can't do it 100%. I feel like I have too much, like a big project collection. I don't want it to be resting for a whole year, all of it. So now I did give myself 5 like sheet categories. Like I did take back, or I did wake up the Project Purple Polish, so I can use a purple time to time. Then I had like a favorite polish, if I know the name, like, oh, I feel for this one, I can do that. So then I have then I have in Swedish it's like sen, not then, so it's fine. Then we have the like seasonal colors, like for mostly this is for neons. Also a little bit of maybe like pastels now in spring coming. And we have untried new ones. It can also be that I maybe wore it one time like 10 years ago, 8 years ago, then I can do it again. Also if I don't have a photo of it, maybe I can, you know, use again, because I feel like if I have used it one time like 10 years ago, it feels like an untried still. And then it was, you know, the combination mani, you know, when I do nail art, or if I want to have, if I do have a few creams in here, maybe I want to use a topper, I can do that. So still use my collection a little bit, but the focus is these polishes. And because I did, you know, start with 12 polishes, you know, I could go 12 polishes without repeating it. So I feel like that is like still, I'm not gonna get bored of them, because I did choose colors not too similar, still, you know, different, and I did also think of the seasons a little bit. I feel like most of them work the whole year if you want to. So yeah, so I know I did start with 12 polishes, but 3 were from last year's polish, and some have been in the year before. And I knew they had maybe 1 mani, maybe 2, maybe some nail art, maybe 1 mani and some nail art in them. I want to use them up, because if I do put them back in my collection and don't use it for a year, they will just dry up and they will be wasted. You know, it's good to just have a few easy ones that I know that I can use up fast. So, you know, when you start a brush polish and many bottles are full, you know that it will take a few months before they're empty, something is used up. It's good to have the ones that have a little bit less in them, so have something used up earlier. I think that's all. I just do, you know, a little bit of introduction, talk about brush polish. I'll start with the ones I'm using as a base coat, the Info colors. You just wait. I don't think I can. I have used it 2 times. You know, I did 5 manis in February. I think I used it 2 times, but not enough to make a new line. You know, I only do one like thin coat as a base coat, so it takes time. And now I feel like I'm at the widest place, you know, on the bottle. So progress is a bit slower, so it will be shown. So now to the first mani I did after the first update. There you see my Valentine's Day mani. I used the Nail Zinc Blossom Kisses. This was a remake. I can show a photo from the Valentine's Day 2020. You can see them too. And I was surprised, and you feel like in the bottle this one looks a lot more like dusty rose pink, but you can see on my nails it looks more like a brighter pastel Barbie pink, and it looks nice. And here, this one has now a progress line. It was full in the intro, and I didn't use it for the first update. So I did everything free-handed. The hearts are a little bit easier to do if you use a dotting tool. So I've seen that there was someone who did that on YouTube. I don't remember which one. You know, I did this, you know, in 2020 when I find the idea. So you make 2 dots with the dotting tool, you know, a little bit close to each other, and then you connect the dots with a V, like from the outside of the dots, a V, and then you make a dot like in between the outside on the top, and that makes a heart. And then you can use that way. You can use a dotting tool to fill the to make the V's, but also you can use a nail art brush, and I did that. I have this one. I do buy this from the Wish site. Maybe that's the same as eBay. And you see that this have a very fine brush. It's almost hard to see it. Maybe if I do it with a white background. It is really good. They are very thin, and they come in a 3-pack with different length. And I really like them. I did buy, when I ordered them, I buy like 3 packs because I really like them. So their hearts are that way. They are very easy to make. You know, it still takes some practice. I practiced on a swatch wheel a few times back in 2020 before I did the mani. This time I didn't practice, and I was lucky that it did look good. Because sometimes it doesn't look good when I do that. I was trying to focus on like imagine how to do it, and you know, it's good to maybe make the small heart first, and then you can slowly fill it out. I did that. You know, it's like in nail art, it's easy to make something bigger, but it's not good to make it smaller, because then you have to take it off, you know, and start over. So make it smaller and try to expand it. It makes it easier. I'm considering doing this again, probably with I think this mani will look good with this one. So then maybe I can film it when I do that. Because I feel like this nail art looks good with a bright, like a pastel, so the black show up more. With the darker, you know, the black heart will not show up as good. Maybe it will look good with this one as well. So I might do that. Well, I think I will do that next time I use the peppermint. I will probably do that one. It's a easy but a very cute nail art. Then I did this mani. So you see H&M Shakudo with no top coat, because I feel like it has a nice texture. It has a silver metallic base, and it gets like a level. You see that on it. You see it has dimension that you can see the silver through it. Like it looks like it's been like brushed on, or like a sponge thing. I think it looks very nice. And this one has a line. You can see that this was unused in the first update. Then I did this mani. That's a Depend yellow. This also has no top coat, because also this one also had a little bit of a like a glitter sandwich. You can see the different levels on it. It also have a silver shimmer glitter base and the yellow, but you know they have a little bit of, you know, different dimension. I feel like sometimes with top coat it makes it smooth it out. There has some texture to it then, this polish. I was here in the intro and first update. You can see the line for that mani. And the fourth mani is the one I have on my nails right now. It is 2 polishes, and it's the second use. The first 3 were used the first time. Well, this one I did use as dots, but you know, it was so little, but by itself, you know. So these were I used, and that was my goal, because this was feeling a little bit, you know, did we have the February Valentine's Day feeling. Little bit of a pre-spring feeling. So back on the one I have on now, that is Makeup Store Susie and SM Mini in the mood ring. I feel like this combination looks really good. It's a very nice red, cream red. I feel like this shade is good for me. I like it. It has a new line, but they're very close. This was in the first update, the second update. And the Mini in the mood ring. This one, I don't notice that it matches my Fitbit band. I did get this one for Christmas and New Year's, or maybe also on the weekend if I go out. You know, it comes with a silicone band. I wanted to have a little bit of a bling bling band. I feel like they matches. That. And you know, this was a second use, so that was in the first update, second update. So that was the 4 manis. A good progress. And then I did a pedicure with the Nail Zinc Mare Lane. And now this one is empty. It was really hard to do the pedicure. I have to do like, I just get a little bit out on the brush each time. Yeah, but this was in Pressure Polish for 3 years. So the first year I used it 4 times. Then last year I did use it 6 times. Now I use it 1 manicure and 1 pedicure. So that is manis. I did do 11 manis. So this one have 10 milliliters, but I did add in thinner and restore to, because it got very thick. But that's good, you know. I did almost get 10 manis out of 10. I feel like if I didn't have the, you know, the thinner, it might have been only 10 manis. So finally this one is also rolling out. This was, you know, in Polish for 3 years. So yeah, so now, you know, I have finished 2, but they are both from last year's and previous year's Polish. You know, it was the one that I knew had like maybe 1 mani in them, maybe 1.5 or something like that. But now they are gone. So I didn't use 6 polishes, and there are 3 that is not used for this year yet. And first is the H&M Cinnabar Gem. I was thinking to wear this one this time, but I feel like this is for like from April, May. It's better I use the darker red and save this one like a brighter, like red pink for later. Also didn't use my Franken Mini Marshmallow. Also have this essence, just call me Kylie, from previous year. I'm saving this one because I think it might be enough if I do like the blossom, the cherry blossom with a branch. This brown is good for a branch. I think it's just enough for that in here for nail art. And then I have these 3 that I didn't use this time. But I used them all in the first update. Yeah, so that's the first not first, that is the second update for Polish Polish 2026. Yeah, so the days go by so fast. Like I feel like also because I'm home, you know, a lot. You know, so I don't know what day it is almost. Like if it's Monday or Saturday, they look very similar for me. I try to make them a little bit more, you know, have something with friends on the weekend. I try to, but still it's not easy to know what day it is sometimes. But then, no, I did realize like, oh, I have to make more money. It's like in 1 week I can do an update for Polish Polish. Like, you have to do something. I think that's why I didn't use top coat on the H&M and the Depend, because, you know, then they maybe look good for maybe 2-3 days only, and I can feel good to change them. So that's all for Polish Polish update number 2. Thank you so much for watching. Hope I see you next time.